So we are here with my final top 30 positional rankings in college basketball, as we've done the point guards through the power forward position, so make sure to go and check those out. But in this video, we'll be finishing up with my top 30 centers for the upcoming college basketball season. And as a reminder, these rankings are based on how I think each of the players will perform next season. But before we begin, if you enjoy the content, please consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel, as it helps us grow and is greatly appreciated. And now, let's jump into it. So as always, I have some honorable mentions that you could argue should be in the top 30, but just missed the cut for me, and they are Aiden Sherrill from Alabama, Nick Davidson from Clemson, Federico from Texas A&M, Ali Khalifa from Louisville, and Joslin Bodo from Baylor. But coming in at number 30, we have Ven-Allen Lubin, who transferred to NC State from their rival North Carolina, and he enters the season as a seasoned veteran who's taken on key roles at multiple schools in his career. Standing at 6'8" with a wingspan over 7 feet, he thrives on physicality and efficiency, and last season at North Carolina, he averaged 8.5 points and 5.5 rebounds while shooting nearly 70% from the floor, showing his ability to finish through contact and make the most of his touches. His strength allows him to bully smaller defenders in the paint, and yet he's quick enough to attack bigger ones off the dribble. Lubin also makes an impact on the glass, where his relentless pursuit of offensive boards creates second chance opportunities. Defensively, his length lets him contest shots and hold his own against both forwards and centers, and for NC State, continued growth as a mismatch scorer and a versatile defender could elevate him into a highly impactful interior presence for the Wolfpack. Coming in at number 29 is Aday, who brings a rare size and skill to Michigan after 2 developmental seasons at UCLA, where he averaged 6.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks in limited minutes with the Bruins. And at 7'3", with soft hands and nimble footwork, he finishes efficiently inside, converting nearly 70% of his rim attempts. Mara's back to the basket game has become a weapon for him, as he uses a wide stance to hold position and finish quickly over defenders. But beyond scoring, his court vision stands out as he consistently finds cutters and makes smart reads out of double teams, giving him one of the most unique skill sets among college bigs. Defensively, his length alone alters shots and clogs driving lanes, making him a steady rim deterrent. And in Michigan's system, which recently elevated centers like Vlad Golden, Mara has a chance to expand his role and anchor both ends of the floor with efficient scoring, rebounding, and playmaking. Coming in at number 28 is Ernest Udeh, who brings a unique blend of size, athleticism, and defensive versatility that makes him a force for Miami heading into the new season. At 6'11" with a sturdy frame and a 7'2" wingspan, he impacts the game most on the defensive end, where he can switch on to smaller players, cut off drives, and still protect the rim. Opponents shot just 38% at the basket against him, showing how disruptive his presence can be. On offense, he keeps things simple but effective, finishing above the rim, setting hard screens, and thriving as a roll man in pick and roll situations. Last season, he averaged 6.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks while shooting over 65% from the field, and his relentless work on the glass creates second chance opportunities, and his ability to run the floor adds value in transition. And with more touches, his physicality and motor could help Miami dominate inside next season. Coming in at number 27 is Noah Williamson, who arrives at Alabama after dominating the Patriot League with Bucknell, where he averaged 17.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and earned both Player of the Year and all defensive honors. And at 7 feet tall and 250 pounds, he uses size to establish deep position on the block, while also showing surprising versatility as a scorer. Williamson converted nearly 62% on his field goals and even stretched defenses a bit by hitting 32% from beyond the arc, making him a difficult cover in multiple areas. Defensively, he anchored the paint as a strong rebounder and reliable rim protector, showcasing the physicality needed to control the glass. His ability to draw fouls adds another dimension, keeping opposing front courts under constant pressure. And transitioning to the SEC, Alabama expects his interior presence to stabilize a reshaped front court, and his blend of strength, touch, and rebounding could help be the foundation of their post play this season. Coming in at number 26 is Jaxon Kohler, and he emerged as a key starter for Michigan State last season, proving himself as one of the most reliable interior options in the Big Ten. He's known for his polished footwork and soft touch, and he became a dependable scorer in the post while also expanding his range, knocking down 37% of his threes after not hitting one in his first 2 seasons. Kohler's offensive versatility with the ability to score on hooks, face-ups, and mid-range jumpers made him a tough cover for opponents, and on the glass he ranked among the league's best rebounders, using positioning, strength, and a relentless motor to secure possessions on both ends of the floor. His 17.11 rebound performance in the Elite Eight showcased his ability to deliver in big moments, and for Michigan State, his continued growth as a floor-spacing big who controls the paint gives Tom Izzo a cornerstone presence heading into next season. Coming in at number 25 is Sananda Fru, who joins Louisville as one of the most intriguing frontcourt additions in college basketball. The 6'11" German forward comes in with professional experience from the basketball Bundesliga, where he averaged 12.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks on nearly 65% shooting from the field. And he's built with a 7'2" wingspan and has impressive mobility. And Fru thrives as a defensive anchor who can switch onto guards, protect the rim, and contest shots without fouling. Offensively, he is a strong lob threat in the pick and roll, runs the floor hard, and finishes through contact with efficiency. And what makes him especially intriguing is his developing ability to step out and hit shots, paired with good passing instincts that keep the ball moving. And for Louisville, his defensive versatility and athleticism will help set the tone inside, while his evolving offensive skill set has the potential to balance a roster already filled with multiple scoring options. Coming in at number 24 is Patrick Ngongba, who steps into a much larger role at Duke after spending his freshman year working back from injury and coming off the bench behind Kamal Malawach. And at 6'11" and 250 pounds, he already has the size to hold his own inside, and his flashes late in the season show why there's excitement in Durham. He posted double-digit scoring against North Carolina in the ACC tournament, blocked 3 shots in the title game, and pulled down 8 rebounds in the NCAA tournament opener, proving his ability to impact the games on both ends of the floor and in multiple different ways. Ngongba is a steady interior presence with soft touch around the rim, efficient finishing, and the strength to control the glass, and his passing ability also adds value as he can facilitate from the post or out of ball screens, and with a full offseason of development, his rebounding, rim protection, and efficient scoring will make him a centerpiece for Duke's front court. Coming in at number 23 is Nolan Winter, as he made a major leap for Wisconsin last season, turning into one of the Big Ten's most efficient scorers while establishing himself as a reliable front court presence. The 6'11" forward averaged 9.5 points and 6 rebounds and shot a remarkable 71.5% on 2-point attempts, all while starting every game for the Badgers. His touch around the rim paired with a smooth jumper, including 37% shooting from 3, gives him the versatility to score inside and out, and Winter's rebounding also proved Wisconsin with much needed extra possessions as he led the team with 216 boards on the season. And now stepping into a larger role with Steven Crowl gone, he'll be relied upon as both a steady scorer and a defensive anchor for the Badgers. And if he continues expanding his offensive game while also holding his ground in the paint, his length and mobility make him the type of player who can change games in one of college basketball's toughest conferences. Coming in at number 22 is Reuben Chinyelu, as he gave Florida exactly what it needed last season, which was a steady interior presence with elite physical tools and relentless energy. And standing at 6'10" with nearly a 7'8" wingspan, he brings a rare combination of strength and length that allows him to control the paint. In his first year with the Gators after transferring from Washington State, he started all 40 games, averaging 6 points, 6.5 rebounds, and nearly a block per contest in just 19 minutes of action. And his motor on the glass and ability to protect the rim made him one of Florida's most reliable pieces, especially after Micah Hanlockton went down with injury. And what makes Chinyelu so valuable is how his presence anchors both ends, using his size to secure possessions while setting hard screens and finishing as a roll man. And with a larger role and continued offensive polish, his impact could make Florida's front court one of the most imposing in the SEC. Coming in at number 21 is Keba Keita, whose growth last season was a major factor in BYU's late surge as a team, as his interior presence gave the Cougars stability on both ends of the floor. The 6'8" big man started all 35 games, posting 7.5 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 block while shooting an impressive 67% from the field. His finishing ability stood out, thriving as a lob target and cleaning up second chance opportunities through relentless offensive rebounding. Defensively, Keita's athleticism and mobility allowed him to deter shots at the rim while covering plenty of space as a help defender. His strength inside makes him difficult to move off the block, and his willingness to embrace contact sets the tone for BYU's physical style of play. And with defense's focus on BYU's perimeter scoring threats this season, his ability to protect the rim, dominate the glass, and finish efficiently positions him to be one of the most impactful centers in the Big 12. Coming in at number 20 is Felix Okpara, who brings a defensive presence that few players in the country can match, making him the backbone of Tennessee's front court. The 6'11" center started every game for the Vols last season, averaging 7 points, 6.5 rebounds, and ranking third in the SEC with 64 blocks total. His length and timing around the rim allowed him to shut down driving lanes, while his ability to switch and guard in space gave Tennessee valuable versatility. On offense, Okpara thrives as a lob target and rim runner, using his athleticism to finish plays and create second chance opportunities through offensive rebounding. He doesn't try to force scoring, instead excelling in his role as an energy big who protects the paint and controls the glass. And for Tennessee to remain among the nation's elite defensively, Okpara's rim protection and mobility will once again serve as the foundation of their identity and elevate his standing among centers. Coming in at number 19 is Payne, who has quietly developed into one of the most efficient big men in college basketball, and his move to Maryland sets the stage for his best season yet. Payne is a 6'9" center and played last year at Texas A&M, averaging 10.5 points and 5 rebounds while shooting a remarkable 65% from the floor. His game is built on both power and energy as he thrives on offensive rebounds, finishing through contact and protecting the rim with toughness. Payne isn't the tallest center, but his athleticism and relentless motor allow him to consistently impact both ends of the court. And late last season, he flashed his scoring potential with back-to-back 25-point games for the Aggies, showing he can be more than just a cleanup finisher. At Maryland, his combination of efficiency, rim protection, and second chance scoring gives the Terrapins a reliable interior presence who can stabilize their defense and serve as a focal point in the paint. And coming in at number 18 is Moustapha Thiam, who wasted no time last season making his presence felt at UCF, as the freshman averaged 10.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks per game. And at nearly 7 feet 2 inches with a 7'6" wingspan, his sheer size and defensive instincts made him one of the nation's most disruptive rim protectors, finishing 4th in the country in total blocks. Thiam thrives as a lob threat and play finisher, but what makes him especially intriguing is his developing offensive skill set. And despite being just 18 years old, he showed confidence stepping out to the perimeter, attempting over 2 threes per game, and flashing a soft touch inside. His mobility at his size allows him to slide laterally on defense, recover on switches, and protect the rim from multiple angles. And as his frame continues to fill out and his offensive polish improves, Thiam has the tools to become a nightmare matchup in the Big 12 next season at Cincinnati. Coming in at number 17 is Cenac, who brings a rare blend of size, mobility, and skill that makes him one of the most intriguing big men in the country. And at 6'10" with a 7'3" wingspan, he covers ground quickly, defends multiple positions, and protects the rim with length and athleticism. Houston's system under Kelvin Sampson is tailor-made for a player like Cenac, as his quick feet and fluid movement allow him to excel in ball screens, coverages, and bring energy to the defensive glass. Offensively, he provides a mix of rim-running power and finesse, finishing lobs with authority, while also showing flashes of putting the ball on the floor and stretching his range out to the arc. His versatility alongside JoJo Tugler gives the Cougars a front-court duo that can overwhelm opponents, and for Cenac, the next step is channeling his immense potential into consistent production, and if he does, Houston's ceiling continues to rise. Coming in at number 16 is Motiejus Krivas, who returns to Arizona with unfinished business after his sophomore season was cut short by a foot injury, but the flashes he showed before going down highlight just how valuable he can be. Krivas stands at 7 feet 2 inches, and he's a true paint presence who thrives as a traditional center. And in limited action last year, he averaged nearly 8 points and over 4 rebounds in under 16 minutes per game, finishing at an efficient 55% from the field as well. His touch around the rim is impressive for his size, and as he can score with either hand and punish defenders in pick and roll situations. On the glass, his physicality and size allow him to generate second chance opportunities, and while defensively, he anchors the paint as a shot blocker and rim protector, and if he stays healthy and asserts himself consistently, Krivas has the tools to become one of the most dominant interior forces in the nation. And coming in at number 15 is Oscar Cluff, who transferred to Purdue, and he's a 6'11", 260-pound force in the paint, bringing a blend of scoring and rebounding that immediately elevates the Boilermakers front court. After dominating the Summit League with South Dakota State last season, where he averaged 17.5 points, 12.5 rebounds, and nearly 3 assists while shooting 64% from the field, Cluff adds low post scoring, strong offensive and defensive rebounding, and smart passing to the Purdue lineup. He thrives operating with his back to the basket, absorbing contact and finishing efficiently, while also showing solid vision when defenses collapse. And although he isn't a rim protector, his size and positioning make him a physical presence on the glass and in post defense. And if Cluff adapts seamlessly to Big Ten competition like I think he will, he can anchor Purdue's interior scoring alongside Trey Kaufman-Renn and help generate second chance opportunities and provide a reliable, low post option that complements the team's pace and offensive schemes. Coming in at number 14 is Malique Ewin, who brings a unique skill set to Arkansas after transferring from Florida State, where he averaged 14 points and 7.5 rebounds across 30 games last season. At 6'10", he's not the prototypical center, but thrives as a versatile offensive weapon, and his soft touch in the paint, ability to face up and drive, and comfort handling the ball give him a dimension few big men offer. Ewin is also an underrated passer who can trigger fast breaks after rebounds and even operate in inverted pick and rolls, making him a natural fit in a guard-heavy system. Defensively, consistency is still a work in progress for him, but his footwork and mobility allow him to cover ground and handle ball screens effectively. And if he embraces the physicality of SEC front courts while maintaining his offensive creativity, Ewin's impact could be felt as the focal point of Arkansas's interior scoring and playmaking presence from the front court. Coming in at number 13 is KeShawn Murphy, who transferred to Auburn after emerging as a breakout star at Mississippi State over the past couple of seasons, where he became the team's second option on a consistent tournament squad. Murphy is 6'10", 230 pounds, and offers a versatile blend of size and skill, and is capable of playing both front court spots. And Murphy is at his best in the short roll, where he can put the ball on the floor, finish with soft touch, or find teammates with sharp passes, which is highlighted by some impressive behind-the-back assists that we saw last season. And while he can score in the post, his face-up ability and comfort handling the ball make him a unique weapon for Bruce Pearl's system. Defensively, he has the frame and experience from a strong SEC program to hold his own while also rebounding effectively, and with his creativity on offense paired with steady two-way potential, Murphy projects as a centerpiece for Auburn's front court in his final collegiate season. Coming in at number 12 is Morez Johnson Jr., who made a strong first impression at Illinois, showcasing the toughness and motor that defined his high school career. And at 6'9" and 255 pounds, he isn't the tallest option at center, but the physicality that he has and relentless work on the glass make him a force. And as a freshman at Illinois, he averaged 7 points and 6.5 rebounds across 30 games while leading the team in both offense and defensive rebounding rates. Nearly all of his scoring came at the rim, where he thrives on putbacks, rolls to the basket, and finishing through contact. And while not yet a polished post scorer or jump shooter, his footwork and face-up game are steadily improving. On defense, his strength allows him to battle against size, while his mobility helps him switch on to quicker players. And if he continues to expand his offensive skill set while anchoring the glass, Johnson has the tools to be a foundational piece in Michigan next to Jaxon Lindenborg. Coming in at number 11 is Robbie Avila, who has become one of the most unique and effective big men in college basketball. Standing at 6'10", the St. Louis product doesn't dominate with elite athleticism, but instead with his high IQ and polished offensive game. He averaged 17 points, 5 rebounds, and an incredible 4 assists per game last season, showing his ability to be both a scorer and a facilitator. And what makes him such a challenge for defenses is his versatility, as he finishes over 69% at the rim, spacing the floor as a 39% three-point shooter, and creates opportunities for teammates out of the high post or the pick and roll. His craft with the ball, paired with sharp passing instincts, makes him a true offensive hub, and defensively, he isn't a rim protector, but his positioning and awareness allow him to stay effective on that end of the floor. And if he continues to refine his physical tools, Avila's all-around playmaking gives him the potential to be one of the most impactful centers in the nation. And coming in at number 10 is Owen Freeman, who arrives at Creighton with the tools to be a major difference maker in the middle. The 6'10" transfer from Iowa brings a blend of physicality and finesse, carving out space in the paint while finishing over 70% at the rim. And his touch around the basket and polished footwork allow him to score with both shoulders, and his ability to run the floor fits perfectly into Greg McDermott's high-paced offense. Freeman averaged nearly 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks last season, showing he can impact the game in multiple areas. And while he's not the same defensive anchor that Ryan Kalkbrenner was, he provides more mobility and offensive versatility, even flashing potential as a face-up threat and occasional three-point shooter. And if he continues to expand his range and sharpen his decision-making out of double teams, Freeman has the chance to be the interior hub that keeps Creighton's offense among the nation's most efficient. Coming in at number 9 is Ngongba, who enters this season as one of the most fascinating young big men in the country. Ngongba is 7 feet tall and has a 7'4" wingspan, and his sheer size and athleticism already make him a defensive force. He averaged 8.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks per game last year, shattering San Diego State's freshman record for blocks, while earning both Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year honors. And what separates him from most shot blockers is his ability to contest everything with explosive verticality while maintaining great timing as a help defender. Offensively, he thrives as a rim runner and lob threat, but also flashes intriguing shooting touch, hitting nearly 38% from 3, and if he continues to add strength, rebound with more consistency, and build confidence in his jumper, his combination of rim protection and perimeter skill could make him one of the most difficult matchups in all of college basketball. Coming in at number 8 is Henry Versar, who steps into a pivotal role at UNC after transferring from Arizona, where his sophomore surge showed just how impactful he can be. The 7-footer from Estonia averaged 9.5 points and 5 rebounds, while shooting an efficient 70% on 2-point attempts and 33% from beyond the arc, proving he can stretch the floor while still being a force inside. His presence transformed Arizona's defense last season, as opponents struggled to finish at the rim when he was on the floor. Offensively, his polished footwork, soft hands, and improved strength allow him to finish through contact as both a roller and rim runner. He also brings valuable passing instincts, creating offense from dribble handoffs and a high-low action, something UNC's front court lacked a season ago. And with his added physicality and relentless motor on the glass, Versar's ability to both space the floor and anchor the paint gives North Carolina a true two-way centerpiece. Coming in at number 7 is Tarris Reed, who made an immediate impact and impression in his first season at UConn, flashing dominant production in limited minutes. The 6'10", 260-pound center averaged nearly 10 points and 7 rebounds in just 20 minutes per game, while leading the Big East in rebounding rate and finishing second in block percentage. His size and strength make him a punishing force inside, with soft touch on post finishes and the ability to score over either shoulder. Defensively, Reed protects the rim with authority and even show glimpses of sliding onto smaller players in space, a skill that can make UConn's defense even more versatile. The challenge for him is cutting down on fouls and turnovers, which often limited his time on the floor last season. But with Samson Johnson gone and a larger role ahead, Reed's relentless motor, elite rebounding, and improved polish on both ends position him as a nightly double-double threat and centerpiece for the Huskies frontcourt. Coming in at number 6 is Tomislav Ivisic, and he brings a unique skill set to the center position, standing 7 feet tall yet playing like a modern offensive hub. No returning big man hit more threes than his 55 threes last season, and his shooting stretches defenses in ways that completely change Illinois' spacing. When he's on the floor, the Illini thrive at the rim because defenders are pulled away from the paint, and beyond his perimeter touch, Ivisic is a capable post scorer with hook shots and drop steps in his bag, while also flashing playmaking ability that saw him record multiple assists in more than half his games. He closed the season strong, averaging 15 points and 6 rebounds over the final stretch, cementing his role as a focal point for Illinois, and if he sharpens his post presence and improves mobility defensively, his combination of size, shooting, and passing could make him one of the most difficult matchups in the nation. And coming in at number 5 is Jaden Quaitons, as he turned heads as a 17-year-old freshman at Arizona State last season and showcased a rare defensive instincts and elite physical tools. Standing at 6'9" with a 7'3" wingspan, Quaitons averaged 2.5 blocks, 1 steal, and nearly 8 rebounds per game, ranking 9th nationally in block rate, while consistently altering shots and disrupting entry passes. And now he's transferring to Kentucky, and offensively, Quaitons primarily served as a rim runner and lob target, posting 9.5 points per game, but flashes of passing and shooting ability suggest untapped potential there. His motor and energy improved remarkably last season, giving him the aggression and consistency to dominate both ends of the floor, and after recovering from an ACL tear, the sophomore will be expected to expand his offensive repertoire, including jump shooting and face-up scoring, but if he can marry his defensive dominance with a broader offensive game, Quaitons could consistently average double-doubles while leading college basketball in blocks and making him one of the most impactful bigs for the Wildcats. Coming in at number 4 is Nate Bittle, and Bittle emerged as a dominant force in his first healthy season, blending size, skill, and versatility to make an impact on both ends of the floor. The 7-foot senior averaged 14 points and 7.5 rebounds per game while shooting 51% from the field, showcasing efficiency around the rim and the ability to stretch defenses while shooting 34% from 3. Biddle's presence altered Oregon's performance as the Ducks posted a plus 9.2 net rating with him on the floor against top 100 teams, and defensively, he leverages length and instincts to block shots and protect the rim, ranking second in Big Ten block rate last season. Offensively, he can operate from the below block, step out for pick and pop opportunities, and make plays from the high post when needed. And with this combination of shooting, post play, and rim protection, Biddle is positioned to be a cornerstone for Oregon once again and a matchup nightmare for opponents next season. And coming in at number 3 is Flory Bidunga, who is poised for a breakout sophomore season as he combines elite athleticism, length, and defensive instincts to dominate the paint for Kansas. The 6'10" forward averaged 6 points and 5.5 rebounds per game as a freshman, showcasing efficiency with a record-setting 70% field goal percentage, and his ability to finish around the rim, both in transition and as a lob target in pick and rolls, makes him a consistent scoring threat near the basket. Defensively, Bidunga's timing and length allow him to alter shots, protect the rim, and control space, making him a major presence in both half-court and open-court situations. And while his offensive range and foul discipline are areas for growth, his combination of rebounding instincts, rim running ability, and physicality ensures he will be a focal point of Kansas's front court. And next season, Bidunga's role as a primary play finisher and defensive anchor could make him a standout center in the Big 12 and a dynamic duo for Darren Peterson at Kansas. Coming in at number 2 is Graham Ike, who enters this season as one of the most experienced and efficient big men in all of college basketball, and he's poised to lead Gonzaga's front court with authority. The 6'9" senior averaged 17 points and 7.5 rebounds per game last year while shooting nearly 60% from the field, demonstrating elite low post scoring with soft hands, refined footwork, and a knack for drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line. Ike thrives in isolation and quick entry post-ups, but his pairing with Braden Huff unlocked a new dimension for Gonzaga last season, as Huff's perimeter gravity created space for Ike to operate in the dunker spot, finish drop-offs, and convert putbacks with ease. And while defense has never been his calling card, Ike's size and growing awareness allow him to anchor the paint and contribute help side when needed. And with a mature offensive repertoire, improved chemistry in pick and rolls, and the leadership responsibilities Ike will have, he is positioned to dominate inside, put up consistent double-doubles, and be a top offensive force for the Zags. And coming in as the number 1 center is Zuby Ejiofor, as Ejiofor enters next season as one of the most complete and impactful big men in all of the sport, building off of his breakout junior campaign last season. The 6'9", 240-pound center averaged 14.5 points and 8 rebounds last season, while shooting an impressive 57.5% from the field, earning Big East Most Improved Player and First Team honors. Ejiofor's strength, motor, and relentless effort make him a nightmare on the offensive glass, where he led all of Division I with 4.5 offensive rebounds per game, while also excelling in post-ups, pick-and-roll finishes, and rim runs. Defensively, he's a versatile switch-everything presence capable of protecting the rim and guarding perimeter players, using length and physicality to dominate the matchups he has. And with his aggressive style, polished post moves, and his improved playmaking, Ejiofor is poised to anchor St. John's inside once again and be one of the most valuable two-way players in all of college basketball next season. And with that, let me know in the comments what you think of my rankings of the top centers in college basketball for next season. Also, go ahead and make sure and check out all of my other positional rankings videos. I've included the links in the description. And as always, if you enjoyed the content, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.